Welcome to today's class, which is a sweet, soft release for our whole body. So we're gonna stretch into those sore muscles and let go of tension, create space and ease. And there's nothing you need for today's class apart from your mat. And we'll get started in our cross-legged seat. If you prefer to sit on something, you can place a pillow or something underneath your hips to sit a little bit taller. And then resting your hands onto your knees, taking an inhale in to roll the shoulders up towards the ears. And exhale, rolling the shoulders down, softly closing the eyes. Taking a moment here to connect with your strong reason why you've committed to this series, why you're showing up. And connecting with your breath. Deep inhale in through your nose and deep exhale out through the nose. Noticing how you're feeling. Becoming really fully present in your body right here, right now. And then we're gonna bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. You can keep your eyes closed if you like. And finding a soft movement there. So just a gentle movement with your head to feel into the left side of your neck. Keep drawing the left shoulder down and away. And then we hold it in stillness. And if you like to add on, you can reach your left arm long to the side all the way through your fingertips. And maybe even placing the right palm onto your left ear, applying just a soft, gentle pressure. Inhale through your nose. And exhaling out. One more time. And bring your hands back to your knees, dropping the chin to the chest and rolling the left ear towards the left shoulder and starting off with that soft movement of the head, feeling out the stretch, finding your sweet spot. And then staying there. And adding on by reaching the right arm to the side as if we're grabbing something on the floor next to us. Extend really all the way into your fingertips and maybe placing the left palm onto the right ear, applying that soft, gentle pressure. Inhaling deeply, exhaling fully. One more time, inhale. And exhale softly, bringing your hands back to your knees, dropping your chin to your chest, and then lifting your head up, blinking your eyes open, interlace your fingers all the way down to the webbing, pressing the palms forward, and with the next inhale, reaching the arms up, look up, and exhale, pressing the palms away, chin to your chest, round. Inhale, we reach up, look up, and exhale to round, really leaning back here. Again, inhale, reach, and exhale to round. And last time to reach the arms up, and then releasing the grip of your hands, rolling over your knees into our tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and then bring the fingers to point towards your knees if that's okay. If it's too much, bring them so that they're facing to the sides of your mat. And we'll find a gentle movement here, rocking either from side to side or forward and back if you have your fingers to your knees. And feeling in that sensation in your wrists, the forearms. And switching it out, so bring the palms facing up, fingers still pointing to the knees, and gently rocking forward and back. Again, if this is too much, you can do one hand at a time as well. Always being really mindful and really present in your body. So stay fully focused here on all the sensations you can feel. And then we bring the palms back underneath the shoulders. Inhaling, drop your belly, lifting the chin, arch your spine, cow pose. Exhaling, chin to your chest, press the palms into the mat and round. Again, inhale, we arch the spine and look up. And exhale, we round. Last time, inhale to arch. And exhaling to round. From there, let's find some intuitive movement in the spine, maybe making figure eights with the spine, moving your hips, really moving it out here. And reversing the direction. And then find your cow pose, so arching your spine, and we're gonna come into our puppy pose. So walking the hands to the front of the mat and then melting either the forehead down or chin and chest down, making sure the hips are on top of the knees so we're not back here, rather a little bit more forward so you can bring your chest closer towards the mat. And we'll breathe here for 3 deep breaths. And gently pressing back into your palms, walking the hands back and making our way into our first downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, lift your hips up and start to pedal into your feet here. So we'll start off with some movement, feeling into the pose, feel into your legs, move your hips and checking in with your body, noticing how your down dog feels today. And whenever you're ready, finding stillness in our down dog, lifting the hips up high, feet are hip distant apart or a little bit wider. You can always keep a soft bend in your knees if your hamstrings feel tight. Inhaling, exhaling, looking to the hands, and we walk our feet to the front of the mat. Bring the feet hip distant apart, coming into our standing forward fold, grabbing opposite elbows and softly rocking from side to side. Bring your stomach to touch with your thighs. So bending the knees slightly or a lot. Doesn't matter how much you need to bend your knees here. We want to find that stomach to thigh connection, relaxing the neck. And then releasing the elbows, halfway lift, slide your hands up your shins, lengthening the spine. And exhale, planting the palms down and taking a big step back with the left foot, heel toe the right foot to the right side of the mat. Staying high on our left toes, we'll start to shift forward and back on our left toes. Let's start to make circles into the hip. And switching the direction. And then slowly lowering the knee down, untuck your toes. From there, we're bringing the right hand on the inside of our right thigh to draw the knee away from us, rolling onto the outer blade of our right foot, opening the chest up towards the ceiling, allowing the left hip to melt forward and down. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Option to reach the right arm back, bending the left knee, grabbing your foot. And if you have your foot in your hand, we're gonna kick the foot with it. Inhale into the hand, exhale, draw the heel in. 2 more like that. Inhale, we kick, exhale, draw the heel in. And last time, inhale, exhale, releasing the foot. And now either staying on our palms, bring the right foot flat into the mat now. You can lower onto your forearms as well. So finding your depth here and holding in our lizard pose. Maybe you want to go even further, then you can walk the hands towards the front of the mat or sliding your arms wide underneath the right leg and bringing your forehead down. So finding a version here that we can hold for a few breaths, closing your eyes and feeling into the sensation. I really like, as you maybe already know, to move my body in my poses, so it feels really nice here to move my hips from side to side. And let's come back onto the palms if you're on the forearms, tucking the left toes and stepping the left foot forward to the outside of the left hand, coming into our yogi squat, hands in front of the heart. Pressing the thighs open with our elbows here. So really use your force of the arms here to open the hips even more. Sitting tall, inhaling, exhaling. Again, deep inhale and exhaling. And I remember when I first did this pose a few years ago, it was so horrible. It was so uncomfortable. I simply couldn't stay here at all. And it's so crazy to see how much you can change your body, right? How much is really in our own hands of what we do with our bodies and our lives, right? So it's incredible. Yeah, how much we can do. Let's take one more breath in and exhale. Palms down, lift your hips up and heel toe your feet so that they're hip distance apart again. Coming back into our standing forward fold and just finding again some intuitive movement here that feels good for you. So maybe again interlacing your elbows, maybe you play a little bit with tucking your pelvic floor. So we can tuck and release here a few times to really find the length of the spine. Really good. And from there, we're now going to take a big step back with our right foot, keeping the left foot in front, lowering the right knee down and coming into our low lunge. Left knee on top of the left ankle, making sure your knee is okay. You can always double up your mat. Inhale, reaching your arms all the way up. Exhale, shifting it back, half split. Inhale, we come all the way forward, reaching up. Exhaling, lifting it back. So good. A few more times like that, finding your flow here. Moving with your breath. And let's hold it in our half split. Finding length in your spine. Inhaling. Exhale, draw the toes towards you if that's okay. Otherwise, you can also point your toes if it's really uncomfortable. Inhale. Exhaling. One more time. Deep breath in. And deep breath out, rebending the left knee. We're gonna step it back into our down dog from here. So tuck your toes and stepping it back, hips up high. Moving just a little bit. And then walking back to the front of our mat. And we're gonna level it up a little bit by bringing the feet to touch. So that makes the sensation on the hamstrings a bit more intense. And then from there, we're going to bend the knees again as much as you need to get that stomach to thigh connection, interlacing the hands behind the back, palms to touch, and then reaching the knuckles above your head, maybe bringing your forehead to your shins. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling, so maybe you can find more length in your legs without losing that stomach to thigh connection. For 3, for 2, and one more inhale here. And exhaling, release, halfway lift, lengthening the spine. And then we'll step it back with the right foot, bringing the left foot to the outside of the left mat, hands underneath the shoulders, coming high onto the right toes, and we'll rock it forward and back. Preparing for our lizard lunge. Making circles into the hip now. And reversing the direction. And let's lower the right knee all the way down, placing the left hand on the inside of the left thigh. Roll onto the outer blade of your left foot and allow the right hip to melt down into the mat, lifting your chest up towards the ceiling. Option to stay here, or maybe reaching the left arm back, bending the right knee, holding onto the foot. And if you have that connection, then you can inhale and kick the foot into your hand. Exhale, draw the heel in. 2 more times. Inhale, we kick. Exhale, we draw it in. And the last one, inhale. Exhaling. And release. Staying on your palms, bring the left foot flat, untucking the right toes, maybe lowering onto the forearms. So whatever is available to you here, going really deep and trying to find that discomfort, breathing through it. So it's interesting, right? Because in all our strength and Pilates classes the last days, it was also a lot of times probably really uncomfortable. And this is somehow like a different kind of discomfort, right? Staying in a deep, deep stretch and breathing through it. But whether it's one or the other, it's what creates change in the body, right? It's the sweet spot we're talking about that we want to find that is going to help us transform. So let's stay here. Maybe you've tried some other versions. You can bring your arms wide, for example, or walk the hands towards the front. And we're coming back onto our palms and step the right foot forward to come back into our yogi squat. So bring the hips low, and this time we'll add on with a twist. So we bring the left fingertips out to the left and reach the right arm up, and then maybe we can take a bind here, bring the right hand behind your back, bending the left elbow, and maybe we can interlace the fingers and opening the chest up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhaling. One more time, inhale. Exhaling back through center, switching sides, so bringing the right arm long, reaching the left arm up, and then interlacing, finding that bind behind the back, maybe interlacing the fingers. One more time, inhale. And exhaling back through center, sit tall, and then folding forward, heel toeing the feet together, all the way together so that they touch. Step onto your fingers. So cupping your heels with your hands. Keep your upper body on your legs. Bring the forehead to your shins and then finding length through your legs here. Deep hamstring stretch. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhaling. Last deep breath in. And slowly releasing, halfway lift. And then bring the hands down and stepping the left foot all the way back to set up for our low lunge on the right side. So the right foot is in front. We're going to reach the arms up. Inhale. And exhale. Half split, shifting it back. Inhaling. Exhale. Maybe sweeping the arms all the way back. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhaling. Let's stay in our half split. Finding our setup here. So making sure our hip is on top of the knee. Flexing or pointing the right foot. Whatever is more challenging for you here to really feel a sensation. Inhaling. And exhale, maybe falling a little deeper, trying to find length in your spine. Inhale, full exhale. Let's stay for 3 more breaths here. And re-bending the right knee. Let's step it back into our downward facing dog. Hips up high. And from there, lowering the knees down into the mat. We're gonna come into our puppy pose one more time. So arching the spine, walking your hands to the front of the mat, and see if now we can maybe melt a little bit deeper. And I just love puppy pose so much because it's really the best counter stretch for all the rounding and forward bending we do throughout our day. So we want to spend a little bit of time here, ideally each day if you can. Inhaling, exhale. 3 more breaths. Soften your face. From there, we're going to roll all the way onto our belly for a little shoulder stretch. Bringing the arms wide into a capital T shape. Bring the right ear down. Come onto the left fingertips. And then we roll onto our right hip, keeping the right arm extended behind us. And then either staying here, maybe we can step the left foot behind the right leg. Maybe we can experiment with bringing the left arm all the way back, searching for the opposite fingertips, or just, relaxing the arm behind your back. And to go even deeper, you could also step the right foot next to your left. But being really mindful here, finding the sensation and then breathing into it. Let's slowly bring the left palm down and roll back onto our belly. And from there, extending the left arm, long come onto your right fingertips and roll onto your left ear, left hip, stepping the right foot behind the left leg if possible. Maybe reaching the right arm all the way back for that interlace. Maybe reaching the right arm all the way back to interlace the fingers. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And release. Roll back onto the belly. Pressing back up. And making our way back into our down dog to set up for our almost final pose, pigeon pose. I know for so many, this is the most favorite posture. I really like it as well. Inhale, reach the right leg up and bring the right shin into your chest, lowering it down. But I think puppy is still number 1 for me. But yeah, this one definitely also feels really nice, but make sure you don't have any pain in your knee. Otherwise you can find a seated figure 4. And also if you maybe need some support underneath the right hip, to increase the sensation, we're going to move the right heel further away, but think of squaring your hips. So draw the left hip forward and down. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, folding over the right shin. And try to keep that squaring of your hips. So we want to try to think of bringing the hip down. And let's melt all the way down and fully surrender to this pose. Last deep breath. Inhale. And exhale, starting to lift back up, rolling onto our right hip and swinging the left leg all the way around to come into our seated spinal twist. Left fingertips behind us. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And exhale, hook your elbow to the outside of the thigh and then looking over your left shoulder, sitting tall. Inhale. And twisting deeper. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, release, counter twist to the right. And back into our downward dog. So lifting the hips up. And then sweeping the left leg up. Inhale. And draw the knee into your chest, lowering the shin down, extending the right leg behind us, making sure the leg is straight. Maybe moving the left heel a bit further away and then squaring the hips, so bring the right hip forward and down, lifting the chest. Inhale and exhaling, melting it down, surrendering to our sleeping pigeon. Let's stay for 3 more breaths. And lifting back up. Again, just rolling onto the outer left hip, sweeping the right leg all the way around, placing it to the outside of the left thigh, and then bringing the right fingertips behind us. And inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, hook your elbow to the outside of the thigh, look over your shoulder, and find length. Inhale, twist deeper. Exhale. 2 more times, inhaling. And exhale. 1 more inhale here. And exhaling, counter twist to the left. And unraveling the legs. Let's finish it in our straddle pose. So bringing your legs apart. They don't have to go your widest, just like a nice amount. Again, you can place anything underneath your hips if that helps you to find more length in the lower spine. And then from there, we want to point the toes up towards the ceiling. Maybe we stay here if that is enough. Maybe we work on softly leaning forward, keeping the legs really engaged. Maybe coming onto the forearms. Or if you're super bendy, you can melt all the way down into the mat, finding your deepest point and holding it wherever you are for our last few breaths, last part of this class. And then making our way back up, bending the knees, place them as wide as your mat and just allow your legs to windshield wiper. And we are done for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was a good rest for you. Bye bye.